bench, come back on the ground, and particularly mentally as well. And Sav would know that Andrew Dunkley's got the edge on him at the moment.
So all squares. We start the second half. Saturday night football at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Atkins got a high tackle, no free kick. Back to Buckley. Unloads with a long one. He's such a penetrating kick, even off one step. He's able to get it well inside 50. Tarrant's been terrific. Rocker's handball was good to Watson. All close. Williams has got it. Good play by the Magpies early. Williams short into Tarrant. And what a game he is playing, Tarrant.
It's hard to tell who's been picking him up. Not sure whether Rowan Wharf might have the job on him now, but he has had 14 possessions. He's kicked 3 goals. And now for a half forward come centre half forward, that's a best on ground performance in the first half from young Chris Tarrant. Once again here, Paul Williams, very good vision, just chipping the ball across to Tarrant, who should convert from here.
Just to give Collingwood the early break in the third quarter. He's bringing it back, but just missing.
Yeah, they're certainly going to have...
Awkward ball, attacking hard. Collingwood at the front was from Freeborn. Buckley goes back. Left-hand handball, Lucuria was good. Aubrey belts it down the line. Williams, well done. He's playing a game, isn't he?
He's playing very well.
50, and he can kick a goal from here, Williams.
Yeah, just another undisciplined act there. We see Williams pushing off, taking the mark. And if that was what the 50 was for, that little nudge out, I think Rowan Wharf's a little bit unlucky. And once again, this could be costly. We've seen this a few times for the Sydney Swans. The first quarter, they reversed the decision, Ryan Fitzgerald, and it cost them a goal down their end. And it could be another goal coming up as a result of a 50-metre undisciplined act.
Well, he is a goal kicker, and he's been in good form kicking goals this year. On the run, you'd say, no problems from here. What about from a set shot? And he's done what Chris Tarrant did.
Yeah, look, that...
Half front spot, set him up a bit. Davis at the back, Burns ran hard, so did Schwass. Goes back to Stevens, one out almost here at half forward. Aubrey, Creswell arm that with a bit of toe, running the pocket, and that's a boundary throw in.
Interesting move from Rodney Eade there. Looks like he's thrown Darren Creswell to full forward. Aubrey's gone with him.
Tarrant might have hurt himself here.
Yeah, looks like an elbow there. He might have got a knock on the elbow. And certainly, gee, if he comes off the ground, that's a huge blow to Collingwood, because he has been the best player on the ground so far.
Left forward pocket, Swans attacking, 7-6, 7-8. A couple of goals has been the biggest margin in this low-scoring game. Fosdyke, oh, clever kick. That's a really good kick, he's hit the post.
It was a clever kick and very unlucky there. And the boundary throw-ins and ball-ups are so important, so crucial, particularly in the forward half there for the Sydney Swans. They just got the ball down. And there hasn't been a lot of clean possessions, but it has been an enjoyable game.
Buckley short. It's going to be a big match, this one, Saddington versus Buckley. That's a wonderful kick, isn't it, to space, and Williams should have marked, but has time. Pops it over to Rocker. This is Anthony. It's been pretty good.
And they are prepared to hold it up, Bruce, as we've seen there on 2 or 3 occasions.
So Anthony to Sav, well, he probably won't load it up because it wouldn't be the good team play, but if the siren it sounded now, you'd say it's not beyond him. It's a good kick. It's going and going. It's a goal. A goal to beat Sav.
Yeah, that's a terrific kick from Big Sav Rocker. But I tell you what, if you can get a highlight package of the way Mickey Malthouse wants his players to play, the way the ball was brought from the back pocket there, we saw 3 or 4 players taking possession but holding the ball up. We saw Anthony Rocker do it there, just waiting, being prepared to wait for that player to come on the lead. We saw Severio Rocker come on the lead there, take a good mark, and he's had a lot of easier shots than that tonight, and he's finally kicked one, and that'll be great for his confidence.
Well, big play for the full forward. As the president said at half-time, he kicked 5 in the second half in one match this year. Watch out that he doesn't do it again. If he does, Collingwood will win. There's nothing surer. Buckley to Kinnear, and again Collingwood look to just be on top, don't they? And Rocker just got rid of his man, and he can certainly go from here, Anthony Rocker, if he wants to.
Yeah, look, too easy there on Andrew Shawble. He just bodied him, just threw him out the way like a bit of a ragdoll. If we watch it here, he just makes first contact, which is very important. First contact, and Anthony Rocker this is within his distance, no question about that. And he obviously thinks so, because he's bending over, doing up his boot, and he's got every intention of going back and having a shot at goal for this. Good third quarter for him. Well, the Rocker brothers
And so important, aren't they, to Collingwood's fortunes? Very few people in the league would have confidence from inside the square. And he's kicked it very, very long and very, very well. It's a big goal.
Yeah, they have just wrested back the initiative now, Collingwood. They're really starting to once again get numbers around the ball. Anthony Rocker, who's had 8 possessions and just been reasonably good, hasn't been outstanding, but he's been reasonably good. And one of the knocks on Rocker's been his fitness, but people down at Collingwood do tell you that he has got a lot fitter this year. And we can see in those last 2 instances, Anthony and Sav Rocker from outside 50, absolutely no problems whatsoever.
Then paddles it out towards O'Loughlin. Freeborn with him. O'Loughlin still has it. Still with O'Loughlin. Good tackle, Freeborn. They've cut it off. Kinnear getting some touches and then belts it to Davis at centre wing. So some rebound here. Orchard about to go with Anthony Rocker. The kick over the back. Nearly fell in Rocker's hands. Back with him, Mixers covering a lot of ground. Trying to belt it out. Orchard being held up. He's got pace. He's got leg speed. He can be a problem here. Good kick. It's a goal. What a goal! That was a fantastic play by Orchard.
Yeah, look, it certainly was. As soon as you got hold of the ball, he called, he has got pace, and he played with the Sydney Swans, and certainly he's one of the quickest players I've ever seen play the game. He's always been a little bit rusty on the skills, but from where he was there, that's a magnificent finish. And what he did do is, rather than belting the ball high and long,
O'Brien conceding ground, Luff going to the pocket. But Collingwood confident at the moment. Mercuria brought down by Fosdyke and Ping.
Yeah, just a little bit tad unlucky there, but certainly the Sydney Swans need to kick their next goal. They're 3 goals behind, and really Collingwood are playing all over them at the moment. It was a good tackle there. I don't know whether that was a free kick for dropping the ball or intentionally out of bounds.
I hope it wasn't for intentionally out of bounds. It would have been very rough if it was. And he handballed it, Luff up, Stafford's got it.
Yeah, Greg Stafford, that's a great mark. And Troy Luff, he's been very good tonight, Troy Luff. Just kicked it there in the dangerous area, and Greg Stafford, who's playing on the ball, drifted down, and this is what Greg needs to do, just take a couple of marks inside 50. He's a very big mobile ruckman, but one of the things he doesn't do is actually kick goals as much as perhaps he should do, and here's a chance for him to get the Swans right back in this game.
He averages a goal about every 3rd match, so his average isn't big. He's kicked one already, Matt coming off, and Allison coming on. So let's see how Stafford goes. They like it. He's kicked his 2nd. The goal they had to get, really, isn't it? Because had Collingwood...
As they can, they just seem to be rushing it in there. There doesn't seem to be any sort of set moves coming there.
The chant goes up off the ground from Stevens. Allison, quick to Schwass. It was a hard ball to get. Schwass was good there, I feel. Going to Goods. Goods with Kinnear. Kinnear holds him up. That's a very good play because Goods is a hard man to stop. Fosdyke back to Schwass. Schwass goes short to O'Brien. Poor kick. O'Brien might get a second go. He's helped out. Wharf goes for goal. And Sydney are back in it. It's Matthews, I should say.
Yeah, Schwass here. The kick was a pretty ordinary one to Craig O'Brien, but I think Craig O'Brien just got a deft little touch on that ball and it deflected it away from the Collingwood defender. We can see it here. Wayne Schwass, right decision, goes to Craig O'Brien. But watch Craig there, just got a little touch on the ball, which was enough to upset Burns. And Benny Matthews a little bit being in the right, get around his opponent, but Bathiris just held him in and forced him over the boundary line.
Richardson able to get rid of Stafford. Then Davis got it to Buckley, who got it to Freeborn. Watson's on the lead, good kick, got him.
And they are, yeah, they are making a move on Stafford. Looks like Josh Fraser's coming on and Richardson's going off.
Watson goes for it. That's a good kick. It's going all the way, I think. No, good play by Seymour. Tarrant probably will be disappointed he couldn't take him out of the play there.
Yeah, look, I think it was a good effort by both players.
Luff front spot. O'Brien was at the back. Burns' little give was good to Buckley. Keeping their heads. Has to chase hard here. Freeborn. He did. Schwass was a bit high. He knew it too.
Just one for Plugger down the boundary. I don't know whether you can hear us, Plugger, but the Sydney Swans forwards seem to all be leading to the one spot.
He goes shorter to Sav, and Sav might be able to get hold of it here. He's got Anthony close by. He ran out of ideas in the end, and that was poor play. The advantage to Crouch. and this could cost. Swass gets it from Crouch. Little one over the top to Fosdyke. Now Fosdyke looks up. Could go across the ground to Allison. He's best on the burst. You give him a good chance. Lines them up and goals. Loves it on the run.
Look, that was a much better passage of play. Plugger just talked about the fact that there hasn't been a lot of movement on the forward line. And I think it was Sav Rocker getting tackled right down back. And it was a critical turnover. But the Swans used the ball a lot better there. Some experienced heads. Wayne Swass just held on to the ball nicely and then sent it to Brett Ellison. Probably could have handled it over Craig O'Brien, but I don't mind seeing that. Obviously, Sav knows he made a mistake. Hang on to the ball. I don't like seeing players getting taken off the ground for mistakes. So that's a good effort from Mickey Malthouse.
Stevens to Luff. Well, the Swans have not led at any quarter. They were a point behind at quarter time and it was dead set level after Luff's goal after the siren at half-time. But deep into the third quarter, they've got the chance to hit the front. They've kicked the last 3 goals in this match, and Luff can make it 4 without a Collingwood reply.
Just a quick kick there. It's amazing the number of times that quick kick out of the centre of the ground goes to a forward who's in front, and Troy Luff did the right thing there. Just broke early. It looks like a kick downfield. Maybe someone was hanging on there.
To O'Brien, I think, against Burns or Lucuria, it's hard to tell. I must say, I wasn't watching, and I'm not sure. I think Luff's going to have to come up and take the kick, or is he?
He's just going off the ground. Troy Luff being replaced by Shuey Maxfield. But there must have been some holding on Brett Ellison, is it, I think, taking the kick there. So maybe Paul Lucuria or Burns was perhaps holding on, but that's an easy goal.
Freeborn, Batheris, O'Loughlin, Swans with numbers. Swass, he's got shorties if he wants them. Decides to give a dummy, a second dummy. He's on his wrong side, but he's a fair kick on the right. Good kick inboard. The signs are good. Creswell can load it up to Fosdyke. He decides to go all the way and kicks a magnificent goal. Stirring stuff, isn't it?
Well, Wayne Swass, he's been fantastic in the last 10 minutes. Just on the wing back there, you see the value of an experienced player making a very, very critical, important decision. He hung onto the ball. Watch him here. He hangs on the ball once, hangs on the ball twice. Let me tell you the reason he hung onto that ball is because there was no one to kick it to. Goes on his right foot, squares it up to Darren Creswell, and Creswell saw the goal square was open, and even if this ball had a bounce, it would have still gone through. A couple of very smart players. Well done, Sydney Swans.
The late goal. They just need it now. Stafford. Williams is so good, hooks it back, it's close, I think it's there, I think he's kicked it. Williams gets the goal that Collingwood needed so badly, and I thought I was saying that about the Swans about 10 minutes ago.
I think we've said that probably 10 or 11 times tonight. It has been critical, real seesawing game, but this is what champion players do at the right time. I just mentioned Nathan Buckley, and Paul Williams is a champion player as well. Critical quarters have been so close, haven't they? Less than a kick at quarter time, 1 point, and then dead set level at half. Fosdyke belts it back. O'Brien launches himself. Lockyer belts it away to the pocket. Only about a minute remaining in this crucial third quarter. Allison's been good. O'Brien, this is bread and butter for him. Just didn't take it cleanly the first time, and it rushed him, didn't it? And he's missed. Yeah, I think they're just on that. He's had this ball for about 10 seconds. Now bombs it in long.
Punches to Tarrant. Not quite, but still in the pocket. Chance for Aubrey. Aubrey out wide to Lane. Lane measures it. It's close. It's a goal. Scores a level. Right on the siren. Can you believe it? What a game.
Oh, what a game. It is an unbelievable game. Certainly Collingwood got off to a great start in that quarter. They went out to a 3-goal lead, and it looked like they were starting to get on top of the Sydney Swans this last quarter.
It's just hard to see a blowout, isn't it? It really is.
Well, the way the game's been played, it certainly is. There's been a lot of tight contests and a lot of players around the football.
So the big final term, it's almost as if they've played for an hour and a half and nothing much has happened. And here we go for the end. But there's a whole lot of good stuff that has happened, as we all know by watching. And hope you're enjoying it at home. Burns has been very good to Watson. Who can get that first goal or even a couple to put their noses in front? Watson kicks to half forward. Dunkley took a chance and did well against Tarrant. Williams, an important player, hooking back. That's a wonderful kick right there over the top of Matthews, hitting the point. Gourds didn't take it cleanly. Normally snaps those up. Williams is good to Orchard. Orchard goes even wider to Watson, who's been okay. Kick to Rocker. just floating over the back. Here's a real chance. Lane, who kicked the goal on three-quarter time, misses.
Yeah, just that contest with Adam Goods there. I noticed as he...
Burns good to Bathiris, to O'Brien, to Watson, to Lockyer. There's a lot of poise about a team that's got such little experience in terms of games and age. Lane got it from Lockyer to inside to Johnson. I had to have a second look. It's the first time I've seen Ben Johnson tonight. Goes to full forward. Anthony Rocker left it in the end. Seymour paddles and concedes.
They are very composed, Collingwood. Very impressed.
Lockyer to Freeborn. You think back to Fitzgerald, that early goal would have been important for him, wouldn't it? That he unluckily didn't get the chance to kick. Fraser, he's been stitched up a bit, but he's a young man who's going to have a wonderful career. Lucuria to Lane at centre wing. And again, Collingwood sure in their foot play. They are refusing to panic here.
Once again, we see them holding the ball up, Bruce, and squaring it. Let's see what Watson holds it up, kicks it again, and this has been the story of the night.
Freeborn, they're just searching for some space. Now, this is not completely beyond him, is it?
It's certainly not. We saw both the Rockers kick some big goals in the first three quarters from well outside 50, maybe just stretching it a tad, but you wouldn't want to put too much money against him.
Let's see if he goes for it. Anthony Rocker, he's well inside the square. It would take a giant kick. But if any, he goes short. It's a good play to Williams. Got him.
It's hard to believe that a player can get that so far open when there's so much time for the defenders and midfielders to pick up their man. I mean, Anthony Rocker had this ball for a good 10 or 15 seconds, and all of a sudden Paul Williams finds himself in space about 20 yards clear, and that is inexcusable from the Sydney Swans.
Kicked a big goal on his left foot, didn't he, when they needed it badly in the third quarter after the Swans had put 5 on in a row. This to give Collingwood a little bit of a breathing space. Will give them a kick and a bit in front. He's very careful with it. He doesn't like it.
Though, isn't it? Just toing and throwing all the way up the ground.
Goods worked his man, Ben Kinnear underneath it. O'Loughlin gets it to Stevens. Stevens hooks it back. Now Stafford's got half a chance here. Got it. Has he? Held on to. Free kick.
Yeah, look, it is a tough job for Josh Fraser. I've mentioned him a few times throughout the night. It is a good learning curve, but gee, I don't know whether you want Mickey Molas would want him learning if Stafford kicks 3 or 4 in this last quarter and the Collingwood go down. So once again, Stafford's gone forward and he's already kicked 2 goals, and this could be number 3, and maybe they will have to make a move with Josh Fraser to get him off.
Shouldn't miss. Got it. Swans in front.
On and hard out of half back, and they want to get him back on very quickly.
1 goal in 11 minutes of footy. It's been a real battle, hasn't it? Huge roar, chant comes up for Sydney. If they get another one right now, Collingwood will find it very hard. Creswell's got the free kick.
Yeah, just another crude tackle over the shoulder. Darren Creswell looking to set something up for the Sydney Swans.
Decides to go high. He's just hoping that maybe Stafford can do it again. He's got it. Well, you talked about the decision to keep Fraser there. Stafford is becoming a giant in terms of this match, isn't he?
Look, he's the potential match winner, and already he's had a fantastic night. But if he goes back and kicks this, that'll be goal number 4. And it looks like the Collingwood runner might be coming out now. It wouldn't be surprised at all if just a really good mark from Greg Stafford. Needs to stand up. Body on body, Josh Fraser, who's only a young kid, let's not forget, and let's not be too critical of him, because it is a tough place to play full back, and when you're in your first year, it makes it even tougher.
There's the angle from behind the goal. He's kicked well tonight, Stafford. Hasn't really looked like missing these. And he has punched it through for 4. Wharf to Stevens. Collingwood have got to hold firm here. Orchard back inside to Adkins. They've come back at every occasion tonight. To Tarrant, the handball to Williams. Williams finds some space. Left foot, hooks it back. It's close. It's very close. He's got it. Well, he's kicked 2 terrific goals tonight, and he's missed 2 or 3 easy ones, and Collingwood get back again.
We've said it all night, but a critical goal. But Collingwood have had their chances. They've actually been inside 56 times to Sydney's 3 times. So they have had their chances. They've had a lot of ball in their forward 50, but we called it earlier. They've missed a couple of key shots. Paul Williams missed a couple.
A whole heap of goals been kicked in the last 10 minutes. Mark taken by Tarrant.
At the moment, Shawball's loose down.
It's 50 metres. Well, what a play. A 50-metre penalty for running over the mark. And Tarrant's going to come up and kick from about 20 metres out, practically straight in front to get Collingwood the lead again.
Gee, that is just key. At this stage of the game, a 50-metre penalty, that can really destroy a team. And let's see if we can pick it up here. He's obviously taken the mark. Brett's... Oh, gee. Bruce, I don't know what you thought about that one, but that looked a little bit tough.
Oh, it's incredibly soft. I mean, no matter who you're supporting, and I'm in a good position because I'd love to see a draw, but it's very soft. And Chris Tarrant goes in and puts Collingwood in front. Pushing wide. Tarrant overran it. Dunkley, well played. To Saddington. Both ends of the ground. To Luff. Can't break the tackle. Ahmad in board. Big play now. Creswell kicked the monster in the third. It's a point.
Yeah, just outside his distance there, Darren. He did kick it all.
Is a real advantage with 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think particularly for the younger players at Collingwood, they've got a young list and they look up the scoreboard and say, we're 2 points in front. We are going very well at the moment.
Aubrey's got a chance. He's inside 50 now. Loads up. Kicks it hard, high and long. And it's a behind.
Yeah, good solid.
Stopped it and paused. You would have said one team's right on top. But right now, Collingwood have got the footy and they're just in front. Little push. Williams has kicked some great goals. Kicks to the front. Tarrant nearly. Saddington are behind.
That was a great effort from Tarrant.
And he get it out. Burns in close. Batheris. This is where Collingwood have been impressive. To Lockyer. Confident, refusing to give it up. Good play, and gets it to Burns, and Burns is able to bang it in the Williams direction. Crouch forced to go early. Williams free kick.
Andrew Shawwell off the ground there too. Just free kick on Jared Crouch. Did go a little bit early, maybe got the arm around the neck, probably paid for around the neck. But Paul Williams pretty smart there. He actually back into Jared Crouch. And a very veteran play there. And Williams, this is the shots he's had a bit of trouble with, Bruce, just the set shots. He's kicked the spectacular ones. He's had 2 goals, 3, and that's obviously a very critical kick.
Well, there's some irony if he kicks this, because the set shots have been the hard ones, as you say. He's had 6 shots for goal tonight. This is his 7th. He's kicked 2. Oh, I think he's missed. He's had 7 shots for goal and kicked 2 miracle left-footer snaps.
Yep. Look, in the end of the game, there's no question Paul Williams with 28 possessions and 2 goals been effective, but if he had to kick 5 goals, the game's all over now, and he's the match winner.
5 points the margin. They've had enough chances, Collingwood, haven't they? Dunkley up the ground, forced to get rid of it. Williams a sweeping handball. Buckley is a wonderful kick, 50 metres out, and he too misses.
Geez, they're really letting the Swans in. Buckley normally nails those possessions, and they're the ones he hasn't been able to get, the ones out by himself. And for Sydney Swans fans, they would have been happy to see that ball go wide.
First shot for Buckley tonight. He's kicked 7 goals, 11 this year, Buckley.
Yeah, which is very un-Buckley right now. The kick-ins are critical now, and there's a terrible kick in there. Terrible.
Adkins dropped the mark. Swans may be let off. Still a fair way to go, but there is a goal the difference, and you think if Collingwood could get one here, it would make it extremely close. I was at a match last night where a team got 2 goals in front late. It turned out to be enough. Maxwell's kicked to Luff. Luff has got runners everywhere. Seymour bursting for him. Leaves it for Allison. Might have hurt himself a bit. He's not a long kick. Allison goes to Seymour. Now this is interesting. Brad Seymour's kicked 7 goals in 97 matches. Allison's off the ground. That's why he didn't take the shot. 7 goals in 97 matches, and he's going to have to try and kick the goal to make scores level. You know him better than I do. Can he kick it?
And you couldn't have got a more critical kick. And we're right over the top of this. Brad Seymour, he will kick this. He's a defender. Defenders kick goals, Bruce.
You're a terrific judge. It's all square. It's all square. I tell you what, Plugger, you would have been proud of that one.
What a magnificent kick.
Some drama here.
He is a lovely kick for goal, Bruce, but he just looks like he's been played in the forward line his whole career, doesn't he?
Wouldn't the Americans have loved this? They would have loved to have seen this.
And there's the crowd goes up as they just indicated goal. That took about 10 minutes. But well done by Brett Allison there too. He obviously called There he is on the injured line, but he called Brad Seymour. He obviously said leave it, took the mark, and then realised he was injured, but had the presence of mind to take the kick. And let's see it here. Great work from Troy Love, takes the mark. Good vision by Troy Love, sees two Sydney Swans players. Brett Ellison calls Brad Seymour, but obviously knows he's been hurt here, done a knee, and he's chipped the ball over to Brad Seymour. And as I said, defenders kick goals, and coaches love to see defenders running down the forward line. And that was a fantastic finish by Brad Seymour. And I don't know, Plugger, with Brett Ellison will take any further part in this game.
Well, he's up and walking around. I think he wants to take part. I'm just not sure whether the doctor's going to let him go back on the ground at this stage. He is running on the boundary, though.
Free kick to Seymour. Schwass running hard. Scores a level with less than 3 minutes to go. What a cracking game this has been. In short to Armat. Still outside the range. Collingwood must hold firm. Armat would love to do something spectacular. Build it away. Pressure to Como. Ducking his head was Matthews. It was a very good tackle not to give the free kick away from O'Brien. O'Loughlin working at 50. Richardson's little gift Freeborn. This is the 200th meeting between the two teams, and they've only drawn one match in their history.
That's amazing statistic, isn't it? 200th meeting and one draw. There's plenty of players around the football now. As we look at the bench, Brett Ellison still. But look at all the players around the football. This is a very critical tap out.
Stafford, Creswell, Orchard, banging wide. Wharf, yes. No, play on. Gee, thought he had a bit of it. To Creswell, every kick important. Schwass sets himself. Burns, Schwass has got it.
Wayne Schwass has been magnificent tonight. That's his 31st, this will be his 32nd possession. He has been absolutely outstanding. And this is not within his range, Plugger. He could kick this goal, I would believe.
Wayne Schwass is a beautiful kick for goal. And look, he's just got to go back. He's got to have a shot here. It'd be silly to try and pass it off or whatever.
He doesn't know how long to go either.
There's not long to go, but that's why he's just got to go back, concentrate, and make sure he nails this.
Well, it's not quite you against Essendon in that famous final, but it's getting close.
Getting close, but he's a beautiful kick for goal usually. And look at that one go.
The goal umpire went to the ground. I don't know if he actually saw it. The goal umpire went to the ground. He's uncertain. The boundary umpires come in. The field umpire. I think it's a point. I think it's touch, but it's pretty tough. It is a behind.
Amazing situation, Bruce. He called it magnificently. That umpire was ducking, absolutely went to ground. Looked like he'd been a sniper was shooting him in Vietnam. I said, let's watch him go to ground there. There is no possible way he could tell whether that was a point or a goal.
Swans lead by a point. There's still time though. Lucuria. Oh, this is a play to Rocker. There is a minute to go, and Anthony Rocker can go back and give Collingwood the lead. What a game this has been.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic game. We saw Wayne Schwass outside 50, kicking for goal down there. We saw the umpire go down. Paul Lucuria, a very, very good kick. And here it is, Anthony Rocker playing against his old team, going back to put them in front.
I tell you what is amazing about the Collingwood boys. They're only a young bunch of blokes. They're playing with a lot of enthusiasm, but haven't they been cool and calm under the pressure tonight?
No doubt, Plugger. There's some stations are leaving straight after the match to go to West Coast and Adelaide. I'm sure you are enjoying this as much as we are. He's taken a long time. This will probably be the last play of the night. It's going and going and going. Rocker's kicked it. Collingwood are in front. They haven't won here for 6 years. Plugger, they haven't won here for 6 years, and there's less than a half a minute to go.
Oh, well, what an amazing game. Look, there's still plenty of time yet. Swans can turn around. If they get the ball out of the middle, they can score a goal. But look, not long to go now. You would have to think that Collingwood would be favourites to win this game now.
Tony, just how good a kick was that with the pressure on him from that distance?
Look, that's just, well, your words can't describe that for a young bloke. I mean, the pressure's been on Anthony Rocker for a few years now, but that kick alone will silence a lot of critics. Don't worry about that.
Nix has pushed forward. There's one play left here. There's one play in the match.
Basically, Stafford has to punch this ball as far as he can.
See if he gets a run. He takes it out of the air. O'Loughlin's missed it. You'd reckon Collingwood are going to win it. Collingwood are going to win at Sydney for the first time since 1994. The Maggies are going to be 4-0. It's the Bombers and the Maggies are on top of the table. They've done it. They've done it.
Well, Bruce, what a fantastic game of football. Absolutely magnificent game of football. I've enjoyed it from the moment it started till the moment it's finished. And Collingwood, take your hat off to Collingwood. And wouldn't Eddie McGuire be pumped up at the moment? We saw him at half-time. He was jumping around in the 7 box. What a fantastic game of football.
And for Michael Malthouse too, to be able to come here with this young team, Paul Williams, a bittersweet night for him. Played so brilliantly and missed some vital goals, and in the end Anthony Rocker, what drama. The Schwass goal not given, I think it was touch. It was almost impossible for us to tell from here. The goal umpire was not in a position to call it, and down at the other end, loading it up, Anthony Rocker going all the way with a long bomb.
Yeah, look, it was a good decision. When the umpire saw the goal umpire go down, he actually went